TC Weather Lab. Here's Eric's forecast.
Hope you had a safe Memorial Day weekend and were able to get out there and enjoy at least the hot and humid weather. Maybe that was at the pool. I saw some people take advantage of the day off to get the grass cut because things are finally drying out, but it does look like maybe some rain chances try to return to the forecast, maybe in some stray activity tomorrow. A little better chance as the week moves forward, but the big story continues to be the opening of the Morganza spillway. So let's take a look at some of the river levels upstream of all the water that'll be making its way down. So this is back through the Great Plains, through Missouri, and then up into Illinois. And you can see numerous flood stages are at the moderate, minor, or major levels. The major are all the purple dots. So you can see a large bit of flooding continues to be ongoing back through the central portion of the region in northern Oklahoma, where they've been dealing with widespread flooding over the last couple of days, and that is now slowly making its way down into the Arkansas River. Also, that water has been making its way through Missouri, and so you can see the major stages up and down the upper Mississippi River towards St. Louis. That water is also heading towards us down towards the Red River. But I want to focus in on the Arkansas River. Of all that water starting to make its way through, Fort Smith has seen some of its highest levels ever. Most of the water, though, is still north of Little Rock, so still has some time before it even makes its way into the Mississippi. But we'll take a look at Pine Bluff, which is one of the last spots we have before that water begins to make its way into the Mississippi, just north of Greenville, Mississippi. You can see that water has steadily been coming up since about Friday, and so that's when the water is finally starting to make its way through. Now at minor stage, but quickly expected to get into the moderate stage, continuing to rise all the way through Saturday and Sunday. So by the time they open the gates at the Red River on Sunday, we will still have the water coming up through the Arkansas. So we're trying to do this ahead of the crest of the Arkansas before it makes its way into the Mississippi, because all that water will then begin to make its way down. What we want to try and take advantage of is we take a look at the Red River standings as of 7 p.m. this evening, as we were sitting at 61.29. But it is starting to come down and will continue to go down about an inch or so over the next couple of days. So by the time they get ready to open it, we are at that downward trend, but we'll start to see some of that water coming down the Mississippi and also entering from the Arkansas. And so that's when that next crest starts to come up a little bit. So right around Sunday, right as the water starts to come up again, that's when they do expect to try and open it to alleviate some of that water that is going to be coming down. And so hopefully as that water comes down and we open the gates, we can kind of level it off right around that 62.1 feet and hopefully prevent it from overgoing the top of the bay and causing catastrophic flooding. So that is one of the reasons that they're going to open up the spillway. You can see earlier this year, though, we did actually get up to 63 feet. It's more about the flow rate, and we're looking at a ton of water just coming down very fast. So that is the main reason that they're going to get ready to open this. So here's what the spillway kind of looks like right now. You have all that water that's kind of backing up against the spillway right now. Some water is beginning to seep through and is moving into that other side of the spillway. But once they begin to open up the base, they're going to open up in the middle portion, so allowing the water to kind of spew through the levee system and make its way into this area. And some of the reasons that they are doing it finally now as we enter into the 1st of June is because of the persistent flooding that's been happening along the Mississippi River, as we are now at 214 straight days of most of the river being at or above flood stage. And so that is just causing persistent pressure on all the levees. And so they want to hopefully, by opening this, alleviate some of the pressure on those levees so we don't have a catastrophic failure somewhere along the Mississippi. Also, they want to try and help reduce some of the historic backwater flooding that's been happening through the Mississippi Delta. If you haven't heard much about this, go check out some of the Jackson, Mississippi stations. They've been doing incredible reporting on that. They are seeing some of the worst flooding they've seen in their entire lives. So we're trying to help them out a little bit. And then we have that more water to come coming out of the Arkansas and North Mississippi. That will continue to bring levels up. So these are the main reasons that they decided to go ahead and try and open up that spillway to kind of allow some of that water to make its way out of the area. But back here in the meantime, just another warm and muggy night, 81 degrees, but with a dew point of 75. It feels very much like July out there. Still up around 87 for the feel-like temperature. Winds are out of the south, and that's going to be a big story through our day on Tuesday. As you can see, with that sea breeze beginning to pick up during the late morning and into the afternoon, we will have the the possibility for a few isolated showers developing, mainly I think west of Lafayette, back towards Acadia, Jeff Davis, up into Evangeline Parish. You'll have the better chance to see maybe a brief downpour at some point during the late morning into the early afternoon as that sea breeze gets going. But by the time you're coming home from work, most of that rain has come to an end. It's turned into another hot and humid day with temperatures into the lower 90s. Heading into our Wednesday, we dry out as the rains then begin to develop along a cold front over those areas that they do not need to see any more rain. Eventually, that front tries to work its way closer to us, but the latest model runs have kind of backed off on our chance. So I've gone down to just a 20% chance for maybe an isolated shower as that front tries to get a little closer come Thursday afternoon, but it falls apart. Eventually, the front does make its way over top Acadiana by Friday, giving us our best chance at 30-40% chance for a few isolated scattered showers that could linger into the first half of next weekend as well. But right now, rain chances look to be very low, and we're only looking at about a quarter to maybe a half inch of rain for some locations. So it's not going to add a ton of flooding concerns on top of what we're dealing with the Morganza. But in the meantime, a very warm evening, feeling very much like July, 76 for that overnight low. And then for our Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds. Heat indices again mid to upper 90s with that 20% chance for a stray shower possible. So maybe just grab the umbrella. Warm and humid the next couple of days. A little better rain chances by about Friday and into Saturday. And then beyond that, the heat just continues with temperatures getting into the mid-90s by next week. And heat indices expected to get into those triple digits. So summer is officially here.
I'd say so. Thanks, Eric.